Welcome everyone. It's day 16, I think. Let me double check. Day 16 of Vlogmas. So this is the 16th day in a row that I've gone live, which is a pretty big deal. So I don't know if it's my longest time, but just know on Saturday, I'm not going to be going live because I'm actually doing a class. So I would love it if you wanted to join the class. And you can find my classes on kathyhester.podia.com. We're going to do appetizers like samosa chaat and coconut crusted tofu. Okay, so I see some people are coming in. Okay, great. I know it takes a while to propagate. So I'm Kathy Hester. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to do an unboxing. So we're probably going to do an unboxing of a different kind tomorrow because I got 2 boxes today. I was going to unbox my Misfit Market, which is sitting over in the corner. You guys can see that, but it's cold enough here that I think I'm going to just let it refrigerate and then I will unbox it tomorrow. Today I got a delivery that I wasn't expecting. Oh, and you know what? I'm not seeing your comments and I think I know why. Let me fix that. Yes. Hi, Jackie. It's good to see you. So, yep, and yay, looking forward to Saturday's class. Me too. And I even got a little holiday cactus to kind of have off on the side for us to enjoy the next little while. And Cheryl and I are actually going to go to Holiday Lights after this. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to unbox this. And this is from Splendid Spoon. So this, I've never had it before, so we're unboxing it together. I did take a peek. I have to tell you the truth to make sure everything looked okay. So what they do is kind of meal prep for you. So this is a box that is lunches and breakfast. And I'll show you some things through their site too. And this may or may not be for you. And it's okay either way. So if you're just like, I just need a week off and maybe you don't have any vegan restaurants near you, everything here is vegan and gluten-free. And you can order it ongoing, so you could just get breakfast and dinner. So they're calling smoothies breakfast. I know some of you don't do smoothies, and we're going to look at some of the ingredients. Though the print is very small, so I will do my best with that to get that over to you. But I really kind of like this. So it's like fruits and veggies on repeat. They've got some cool logos. And it's saying perishable, refrigerate on delivery. It did come with some dry ice that was done, but everything in here is just frozen right now. So I'll let you see over the top. You guys could see this a little bit before. And I have to say, there is something nice in this message. And when you open it up, it tells you that it has dry ice in it and to not be messing with that. And it tells you also how to recycle. So that's kind of cool too. So I did remove the part. This is like really heavy duty padding in here. And this is where the dry ice was. And when dry ice goes away, it just turns into nothing. And then we've got that piece of cardboard. Okay, so this is all that's in here, and I'm going to read the list out to you, but I'm going to put it over to the side, I think. So everything's packed in there. We've got 5 containers like this, so it's for one person. And this is kale pesto noodles. Actually, let's change how this is happening. I thought a smaller box would not take away all the looking, but it has. Now you guys know just how short I am, which is very. So this is kale pesto noodles, and it does have rice noodles in here. Let's see if we can. Okay, I think this is what Cheryl's going to eat, and I'm going to, so we can go ahead and open it. And it is frozen. It looks kind of pretty though. It would look prettier in focus though, wouldn't it? There we go. So it looks like what we've got here. Let me get a fork. We've got some rice noodles, and everything is frozen. So we're going to put this in a pan and heat it up. You could also just heat it up in the microwave. But I figured for demo's sake we would do it in here. So it's got rice noodles, kale, water, roasted tomatoes. They do have some oil in them. Almonds, cashews, olive oil, hemp seeds, garlic, black pepper, salt, lemon juice, and nutritional yeast. So it is not SOS free by any means, but it doesn't have sugar, and I don't think it had salt. Let me read all the ingredients. No, it does have some salt in the roasted tomatoes. So it's not completely salt-free either. So let's look at some of the other things we have in here. And then we'll get to the smoothies and things like that. So this one is a coconut curry rice bowl. I'll let you see. I know it's hard to see. And I'll read you the ingredients to that one too. It's organic brown rice, kale, chickpeas, coconut milk, water, yellow onion, cashews, ginger, garlic, white vinegar, lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil, salt, turmeric, curry powder, chili powder, and black pepper. So that's pretty good too. So our third one is beans and greens soup. And I could see getting this every once in a while and keeping some of these in the freezer until I was ready. Like, this would be really nice if well, you guys know that I took Thanksgiving off of cooking. So we actually got some from a private chef who does meal stuff, and we got something from a local vegan restaurant. So this would be great for that. And this has carrots, pinto beans, black beans, spinach, onions, bok choy, tomatoes, celery, virgin olive oil, salt, curry powder, rosemary, cumin, black pepper. So I know a lot of you are SOS, so no salt, sugar, oil, and this probably isn't for you. But there are also other people out there that are just eating vegan and gluten-free, and this would work for you. And so now this one is a brown rice taco bowl. And I'll go ahead and show you this one, and I'll just read. And this is a vegetable bolognese bowl. Would help if I stopped doing that. So let's read what's in these. So the brown rice taco bowl, there's black beans, kale, brown rice, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, roasted red pepper, pumpkin seeds, oil, olive oil, lime juice, tomato paste, scallions, poblano peppers, garlic, salt, cilantro, chipotle pepper, paprika, chili pepper, and ancho pepper. So that's kind of nice too. And then the vegetable bolognese bowl, we've got tomatoes, water, mushrooms, shiitake mushroom, quinoa, onion, celery, carrots, cashews, tomato paste, wild rice, hemp seeds, basil, olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, salt, nutritional yeast. So those are all pretty good too. So I know that Cheryl wants to eat this bowl. So let's see. And as they're saying on the instructions, they are kind of tiny. So it tells you all the nutritional information. So it's packaged just like something you would get in the store as far as that goes. I know you can't see it, but all that is teeny, teeny, tiny, little bitty nutritional information. And it says, heating instructions, you can remove the lid, microwave 2 to 3 minutes, stir midway, or pour into a saucepan, add a tablespoon of water, and heat on the stove until warmed throughout. And this is a BPA-free container that is microwave and dishwasher safe. And we saw on the top of the box too, we can return these containers and they will recycle them too. So I'm going to get a little bit of water. That's the one thing I did not do. And let's see how this does. I'll get a bigger thing of water because I may heat mine and Cheryl's. And this way, you're watching us have fast food, fast, healthy food, before we go look at holiday lights, which is stuff that I like. So I'm just going to put a couple of tablespoons. I always overestimate, especially when I am doing this on the induction burner. Actually, let's see. The induction burner is not turning on, so I must have plugged it into something that's not actually plugged in anywhere. because we have 80,000 plugs. So I bet this one will work. Yes, it's a winner. Woo! You didn't know it was going to be this exciting today. So tell me what you guys are doing. I'm not seeing very much talking going from you guys tonight. There we go. So I'm just going to put it on medium-ish. And so I'm just going to dump this guy right in here and see how this does. I have to say, like in my old house, I didn't have a microwave at all. So this is how I would have heated it up. Because our house kind of came with a microwave. So now sometimes I will use it, just because it's there. And if Cheryl was going to heat this up for us, she would definitely be using it. Okay, I see more people coming in now. Hey, Apple has my Cincinnati chili in the slow cooker. Excellent. You guys can kind of see this giant blob of, actually, I think if I chip at this, we can see some noodles. For me, this is really kind of cool because they're gluten-free noodles. Can you guys kind of see? No, you can't see it. Here we go. There you go. You can see it now. It's pretty tasty. Susan says good afternoon, and that it's rainy in Georgia. It's super rainy here and darker than usual. Lots of snow in West Virginia. 7.5 inches. Oh my gosh, it's supposed to come overnight. I know, it's kind of weird. I actually did ask to check and see if we were going to, because we're driving, I don't know, just 30 minutes away, but I wanted to make sure we weren't going to get caught in some kind of snowstorm, but we're not supposed to get it. So I'm just going to turn this guy over a little bit. It's really pretty good. But it's always kind of a pain to get frozen things to be not frozen. It takes some time. And Susan said she doesn't have a microwave. So if you didn't have a microwave, that's why I'm doing it this way. Let's see how long it takes. It takes 2 to 3 minutes in a microwave. I think originally what they were doing was kind of trying to make a work kit, and that you would order these and you'd have 5 lunches and 5 breakfasts. And in this one, this is called the Lunch Plus Wellness Shot Plus Detox Shot. So it's got some juices too. And they're still frozen. Well, these are starting to thaw out now, but they came really frozen today. So I feel really good about how that worked out. And Fran is making a wild rice, veggie, and mushroom soup. That sounds delicious. That sounds really, really delicious. Kick some of this pesto off the top. And I wanted to give it a little bit of extra water because sometimes this heats up a little extra. Okay, give that a little bit extra to the camera. And someone else says it's cold and wet in Virginia today. It has been cold and wet here in Durham, North Carolina. So I was on a podcast interview earlier this afternoon, and I went downstairs because, and I'm just kind of turning this over because we'll see that this is starting to thaw a little bit more on the bottom. I want to make sure nothing gets burnt when I'm kind of thawing it out in a pan. I don't know that I've ever done this with noodles, but it seems like they're working out pretty well, actually. You can see the noodles a lot now. And someone else says, I will be having leftover veggie and wild rice soup that I made the other night. Oh, that sounds delicious too. Yeah, last night, so yesterday, I showed you what we made for lunch, but I had soaked some of the small red beans that we did in the unboxing of Rancho Gordo beans. And then I put those, after they had soaked, in the slow cooker with enough water to cover, plus maybe like a 1/2 inch or an inch in a 4-quart-ish, 4 or 5 quart-ish slow cooker with some of the same spices that I use in the quick and easy red bean recipe that you can get on Healthy Slow Cooking. So it was like, I put some nutritional yeast in there, I put some onion powder, garlic powder, we put, what else did we put in there? Liquid smoke, smoked paprika, Cajun spice, of course. We just got to get to where we get those noodles. That's going to be the hard nut to crack in this one. I think this one is going to probably take longer than some of the others just because it's a hard little clump of noodles. It smells good, and honestly, I'm not sure that I would add much else. I probably would, because I'm me, add a little bit of extra nutritional yeast and definitely taste it. If I was eating it instead of Cheryl, I'd add extra black pepper. Oh, that's true too. It won't be as fun to watch, but it will melt, cook faster with a lid on it to trap all that steam. That's true. You people and your logic. Let's see if I've got one that fits. Ish. Let's see if this one fits, sort of. Well, it's going to be on top of the noodles. Let's flip her over. And it's true, but I hate for you guys not to see what's going on. And also, that's why I'm adding extra water, to kind of make space for that to happen. Now, you probably don't want to keep hitting the noodles like I am, because that could also cause some other problems. But I'm just being a daredevil, as I often am. I'm also going to kind of cover it with some of the warmer sauce. Oh, yum! Amelia had potato kafka from the air fryer book. I love that recipe. It's so good. I love kafkas because I feel like I'm eating like pakoras, like an appetizer as my meal with rice and yummy flavored Indian gravy, which is super cool. Okay, maybe this is low enough now. I'll do that and I'll turn it down a little bit. We'll see what happens. So the wellness shots, there's a detox shot with apple, lemon, aloe, kale, and spirulina. And then there's another one with ginger, orange juice, lemon juice, and oregano extract. And those sound pretty yummy. I can get behind those. And then we have 5 smoothies. So I know some of you do smoothies and some of you don't. If you don't do smoothies, it is fine. So don't feel like you have to. And again, we're unpacking something they sent to me. And let me see if I can show you this, what some of the choices are too. I will tell you. Oh, there we go. Okay, finally. All right, so now you guys can see. So if I'm over here, these are some of the different smoothies. And we have raspberry cacao smoothie, which is bananas, raspberries, coconut nectar, cashew butter, pea protein, beet juice, rose water, and vanilla and cacao. That sounds like something right up my alley for sure. Then we're looking at the cacao almond smoothie. It has some, I don't know if I'm saying this right, baobab powder. I'm probably saying that really wrong, and pea protein. Let me let you, I've got the dragon fruit one you see right there. We've got the mint chip one. We've got the chocolate cherry and the dragon fruit berry. And so then these are some of the other bowls too. Okay, I'm gonna come out of here for a second. And I'm just gonna want to flip my noodle patty over, and it's really coming close. So those of you who are just joining, what I'm doing is I'm actually cooking the kale pesto noodles from Splendid Spoon, which is kind of a vegan and gluten-free prep your meals for you service. They're actually already done, so I hate to say it's a meal prep service because it's not like the other ones where you put the pieces together. They come already together, the meals, in little frozen yummy boxes or containers. I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to have. I'm thinking if Cheryl is having pasta, I should have pasta too. Hi Diane, I'm so glad you're catching me live. So you could, those of you who are like, I don't want to be messing up a pan with all that, you can totally just put this in the microwave if you have a microwave. But I know some of you would not, so I wanted to see what it would be like. And it was probably Helene, I'm thinking was her suggestion was to cover it, which is hard for me to do because I'm contrary like that. And Cheryl, in a minute, I'm going to want you to come over here and taste this. So get ready. It's about time. Huh? And Cheryl did get to pick this one out for herself. Just in case you're wondering. So that's one serving. So each of these is one serving. They are not super inexpensive. So you are paying for the convenience of this. I just want everyone to know I'm not trying to trip you up. However, when we took a week off or like 5 days off, we paid at least this amount of money. Oh, it was Jenny's idea to cover. Sorry, Miss Jenny.
Smells okay.
Cheryl says it smells okay, which for Cheryl is kind of a compliment. It needs to be just a little bit warmer. Not much.
Why did you just stick it in the Mikey?
If you had been listening to the beginning of this live, you would have heard me explain it 3 times. Cheryl's like, why don't you just put it in the microwave? She's just over there. Does anybody else have some spouses that don't listen? Okay. And I'm adding a little more water just because I want to make sure it's hot enough. And I'll let you guys see what I'm seeing. The noodle serving is not large, but the sauce is really good and has got a lot in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just plate it up for her. Yes, I know you don't have anything on you, little induction burner. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. Trust me, it's going to be all fine. Let me set this over here. You have to scrape whatever's on the spoon off because that's where all the extra special yumminess is. Okay. This is your dinner.
You should taste it.
Hot. It's really quite good. Cheryl is going to want it to have less sauce because that is how Cheryl is. She likes a dollop of salt, and I like a lot of salt. A sauce, not salt. Come over this way so everybody can see you taste it. You want to blow on it?
It's pretty good.
Have some dinner.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You've earned your dinner now. And probably, I'll go ahead and heat up another one too. Okay, and Diane said, so what we're warming up is actually, here we go. It's this delivery box, so I unboxed what was in here. And it's from Splendid Spoon, and so they do deliveries. And I just happen to have another fry pan. Imagine that. The luck of it all. And I'm going to go ahead and heat up the vegetable bolognese bowl. So these, it's kind of like a meal delivery service. I guess it is a meal delivery service. This is their, which box is it called? Their breakfast, lunch, and wellness shot plus detox shot. And in this, we've got, so far what we're finding, these are not SOS friendly. They do have salt and oil in them. So they're not for everybody, but they're pretty healthy for people who are not trying to avoid those things. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and we'll talk about a few more things. So I'm just going to, actually, and this bolognese bowl actually doesn't have noodles. It has quinoa, I think. Wild rice and hemp seeds. It does not have quinoa. I'm seeing hemp seeds. It's got tomatoes, water, mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. Oh, it does have quinoa. Quinoa, onions, celery, carrots, cashews, tomato paste, wild rice, hemp seeds, basil, olive oil, lemon juice, garlic salt, nutritional yeast, and red chili pepper. So those of you who are like, why are you not putting those in the microwave? It's because everybody, I know all of you guys don't have microwaves, so I thought, let's see what it's like to just heat them up. And that one, the noodle one was the one I was worried most about, honestly, as far as how it would heat up. I think these grain ones are going to heat up pretty easily. And so I don't really have, this is just sitting right on top of it, and it has holes all the way around. But I'll try it, people. Okay, Jenny, I'm trying it just for you. But I'm just going to go back to poking it in a minute. I wanted to show you, okay, we'll go back here. There we go. So these are some of the dishes. It does arrive frozen, so everything was frozen. It had dry ice and is still frozen. In fact, some of the smoothies are starting to, some of them are starting to kind of loosen up a little bit. But you get to pick, so there's some of the different smoothies. Here's some of the different bowls. Like that Brussels sprout bowl looks good. The cauliflower bowl, this is the bowl we're cooking up right now. And let me see. There's Cheryl's bowl. There's more noodles and less sauce in that picture, so I think that's a little styled, which can happen with some of these services. And see with this one, yeah, Cheryl's saying they definitely taste salty. See, this is grain, so I don't mind cutting it in half. I did not want to make my noodles go away. So this is why I'm doing this here and not there. So the ones that are not noodle centric are going to be able to heat up a lot faster. You can see the wild rice and the grains and stuff. It smells good. Cheryl says she actually really likes it. I wasn't sure how Cheryl was going to feel. We all know that Cheryl is my picky eater. And that was a lot of green, but there's noodles. And that's something too. And I've really been craving mushrooms a lot. And in fact, one day soon, it was going to be tomorrow. Now maybe it'll be Friday. I'm not sure. I'm going to make a winter stew that's kind of Asian inspired with miso and turnips and mushrooms and some yummy things in the slow cooker. So that's coming up soon too. Okay, you guys can kind of see that there, but let's look up a little bit more. Nope. Let's go this way. I'm going to let that turn up a little more. So the ones that you can break up that aren't noodles are going to take less time to heat up. Oh, so okay, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. So it's saying each one of these, this is 2 servings. So I don't know how I feel about that, if this is what you're eating. But I guess for lunch, I would eat it. But yeah, I think that this is this is usually our serving size bowl. And it was a little light with the noodles. So I would definitely be eating both. So like, let's see, did I keep, yeah, I kept this one. But see, here's the thing, okay, 2 servings, I'm getting ready to have the outrage, but each serving is 140 calories on this one. So eating the whole thing is 280 calories, which is really not much to complain about. Turn this down a little bit. Let me go get the one that had Cheryl's. Let's see what Cheryl said. And so Cheryl's is 480 calories, which still is nothing. It's perfectly in range for a meal. They are billing this as being a lunch, so I don't know if they're expecting you to go ahead and have, you know, like some of the frozen meals do. You have this much and a giant salad and something else, kind of like breakfast cereal, right? You get like a half a cup of cereal, but then you're supposed to have toast and all the other things with it. And Judy says, do not misunderstand. I enjoy poking at the frozen food as much as anyone. I know there is something incredibly satisfying about that. But this is really, I think the only one that I think will take as long as the first one. I picked the one that was the longest cooking. Let me get another fork. Ooh, that's pretty tasty. It's got a little bit of heat from the red pepper that's at the end. You get some really good umami from those mushrooms and tomatoes in there, and there is nutritional yeast in there as well. I don't usually eat a lot of hemp seeds, but I'm finding it a really pleasant texture with this bolognese. I think they did a good job making this actually a bolognese instead of something, you know, that says it's a bolognese but isn't very chunky. And for BC, there is calories and sodium on each container. And so, like I said, there is sugar and oil in these. Not salt and oil. I haven't seen any sugar on the ones that I've seen so far. So we told you the calories on these. So the one that Cheryl had, trying to get, do they have sodium listed? It's very, 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 very tiny, people. Protein, vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium. It does not have sodium on here. Let me see if this one does. That was just an oversight. Actually, I'm going to turn this off because that is hot and ready for me to eat it. Yeah, oh, we're eating both servings. So Apple says I would be eating both servings too and be adding some more vegetables and pasta and potato and starch. Absolutely. So sometimes you could get something like this and you could use it to kind of make some prep time quicker. Just like sometimes whenever we make extra stews or sauces, we talk about freezing them. But this could be especially good. I know I have some friends that actually, a person in their family got diagnosed with COVID, so they're kind of staying to their own parts of the house. And I'm just thinking something like this would be really nice because then each member of the house can kind of go and heat up their stuff because they're not in the hospital, they're not all the way down. Or if you're just like needing a week off, but if it's one of those things where you could you could get this and let this be what you build on. Like this would also be good over adding a bunch of zucchini noodles in here would be amazing. I think that would bulk it up, make it feel like a little more food and get in some more fresh vegetables. So you've got a lot of vegetables in there. Hello, Deborah. It is awesome to see you. And it does arrive frozen. It had dry ice that had already melted or evaporated by the time it got here, but everything was frozen solid. Like this is just now starting to get a little bit squishy. So I'm thinking you could probably I could put some of these in the freezer and just take them out and let them thaw a little bit and make them into kind of frozen smoothie bowls, and that could be interesting. So the smoothies were like mint chip smoothie, dragon fruit berry smoothie, chocolate cherry smoothie, The white on the yellow labels are hard to read. Raspberry cacao smoothie. I was digging this one because rose water is an ingredient, and you guys know that I love rose and lavender and floral flavors. And this one is a cacao almond smoothie. That plus these 2 shots, and then 5 different entrees. And it's not cheap. So I didn't look up the exact price, but I think it's like $100. But a lot of the places that do this, I think it's fairly comparable. So again, that's why sometimes when we talk about meeting our grocery budget, we cook at home more. And we cook from scratch. But there's sometimes when you can't do it. And it's good to know that there's a nice vegan gluten-free option, because I find a lot of times for me, since I've had to be gluten-free, it makes it a little bit harder for me to get things. So I was really excited when they approached me and said, hey, you want to try this? I was like, week off of cooking. No, but I'm cooking this weekend, so I'm going to be cooking plenty. But we'll probably stick these in the freezer and probably bring them out again and show you. But so far, these are quite good. They're better than other ones. I've had some other meal services, and there were a couple I didn't write about or show at all. But this is good. Like some of them, I like the way they're putting them in here, because honestly, frozen stuff like this that you're about to heat up never looks good. But this, at least having it layered, makes it seem a little more appetizing to me. Yeah. Oh, you did find sodium? Am I just not seeing the sodium on here? I really thought I was looking. It's so tiny. Fat. Oh, I did. I missed the sodium. 450. So that's 900 for one serving, and that is significant. Let me see. It's up closer to the top. The sodium for this one is 460 milligrams. But like I said in the beginning, I was very open that there is oil and there is salt in these. So I'm not trying to, if that is not on your agenda or in your diet to eat, please, this is not for you. But again, I know a lot of you have varied diets, so I wanted to at least present it as an option. And if you like it, great. If it's not your thing, that's fine too. Let's see what else we've got. Deborah says the serving seems small. I guess over rice would be good. Well, here's the thing. This actually has quinoa, hemp seeds, and wild rice in it. So I think in a way that that's going to be kind of filling. But yeah, I think zucchini noodles would be my first choice. If I had a zucchini in the fridge right now, I probably would just, spiralize it up and toss it in here. And I think that would make me feel like I had a whole big weekend meal. But having this as a bowl, I'm not sad about either, honestly. And Apple says they're building blocks for a meal, and that's great too. So you can use anything that you get, you can use different ways that fit what you're doing. Yep, Diana, it's not cheap. So again, I am not telling you you need this. I'm telling you that this is an option that's out there should you need it. But when we took that 4-5 days off, we spent more than $100 getting food, because I got meals from one place and then we got Thanksgiving from another place. And I think Thanksgiving alone was $60, and that was just 2 meals, one for Cheryl, one for me. And that's, you kind of have to look at it. Would I be good about doing this absolutely every single week? Not with what I do, because I need to cook all the time. But if you're someone who, usually people who are here want to learn how to cook. But what if you're going away and your significant other who doesn't cook needs something and you don't have time to fill up the fridge or the freezer? This would be an option. Because still, $100 is probably cheaper than going out to lunch and breakfast every day. So it just depends on where you are in your life and what your priorities are, if this is for you or not. Okay, great. And it's one of those things, I just don't want you to feel like I'm trying to push anything on you, but I do think it's important to, when I get a chance to see what some of the new things are out there, that we look at them, because you know what, if if I got sick, this would be something for Cheryl to order so she could feed us by just kind of heating things up. And hopefully nobody gets sick. And I've got lots of stuff to teach you guys, and I'm going to be going live a lot, so there shouldn't be a lot of lack of food in our house. Yeah, it would be convenient for emergencies. And here's the thing too, because everything came and it was frozen pretty solid, I would feel pretty good about putting it in the freezer for like a week or two, so it's something that you could kind of have if you knew you were going to have a really busy week at work or something like that. Do you guys have any questions for me before I go and see the holiday lights, like the 10-year-old I am inside? Because we're driving somewhere, we bought a ticket and everything, so we're going to be driving through like some kind of cool lighting stuff in Raleigh, I think. There's some really cool lights near Winston, Salem, but it's just too far to drive for me at this moment. Oh, hello, beloved ladies. Peace be to you as well. You're delightful. Okay, awesome. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you tomorrow at some point. I may go early tomorrow, so just be aware. I'm not sure yet, but I'm kind of hoping to get that in before lunchtime tomorrow. And that's what Diane is asking right now. So I'm going live every day, but I have a big schedule tomorrow of some meetings and things that I have to do. So I'm hoping before lunch I'll go live. So if I wake up early, it could be really early, but let's think lunchish time. Okay, you guys, I am going to enjoy myself and enjoy the replay. And you guys, I'll be taking you with me in spirit to see all the holiday lights. And maybe I'll put up something if I can get a good phone image or two, I'll put them up in the groups. Okay, awesome, you guys. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you tomorrow.